Now, you may have heard of a man who flies around the world and delivers presents in a sleigh pulled by reindeer. Well, I have news for you. His name is Santa Claus, and I am he. Ho, 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 ho. I've been busier than usual this year getting things ready for Christmas, and I'd like to share it with you. Now grab some hot chocolate and some freshly baked cookies, and enjoy the show. Looks like we'll need a little bit more magic dust to get us home. You may be familiar with the Aurora Borealis, or their other name, the Northern Lights. Well, we harvest a bit of that and convert it into magic dust, which helps the reindeer take off from the ground and fly all over the world. Just pull this lever here. Oh, there we go. Come on, boys. We've got lovely oats and carrots waiting at home. Dash away. Hello, everyone! How have you been this past year? Things have been quite busy up here at the North Pole. We've been present wrapping, ribbon winding, and sleigh packing these past few months, all in preparation for our annual trip around the world. I'm very much looking forward to the goodies you'll leave out for myself and the reindeer. There are so many scrumptious surprises left out for us, and on behalf of myself and the reindeer, I thank you for your thoughtfulness. Now we must get a few things out of the way to ensure you have a wonderful Christmas. First, brush your teeth. Many times for holidays, sweets and other sugary-based treats are plentiful. Should you neglect to brush your teeth would fall out, and you wouldn't be able to eat any more sweets. And that would be awful this year. So make sure you are brushing your teeth. The second thing is to eat your vegetables. There's nothing as filling as a large helping of buttered corn, fresh green beans, some carrots, or even sweet peas. Eating vegetables will help you grow big and strong. And the third thing is the most important. Be kind to one another. Listen to your parents and teachers. Help them when they need help or ask you to help. Clean your room, help with the dishes, and do your homework. Doing these 3 things will help you stay on the nice list. And if you haven't been doing these things, well, there's still time for you to repent of your evil ways before Christmas. Oh, do you hear that? It sounds like we've got some post to sort through. Come on! Welcome to the North Pole Post Office. We don't get many outside visitors, so consider this a special peek into where your letters end up at. Here we sort the incoming post and prepare to send responses or forward different letters to departments within the toy shop. As the Postmaster General and a person who gets an awful lot of letters up here, I spend a lot of my time reading letters and making notes for my naughty and nice list. I thought today, instead of just reading and writing letters, we could perhaps read some out loud and answer them in person. How would you like that? Let's see what we've got here. Oh, this one's from Will, from Gatlinburg, Tennessee, USA. Let's see what he has to tell us, eh? He says, "Dear Santa," why, that's me! "Thank you and the elves for working so hard. I'm doing my best to be good. My sister says there's no way you can travel around the world in just one night. How do you get to everyone's house? Do you use some Christmas magic? Your friend, Will." Thank you, Will, for your letter and for being so good. You will make a difference in the world. As for how I get around the world in just one night, it's really quite simple. On the sleigh's dashboard is a very special switch. Much like this one. We have it connected to the magic dust reserve, which enables the sleigh to slow time, wherever the sleigh may be. With a simple flip of the switch, the time delay function engages, and time travels with me. It's much like taking the batteries out of a clock. Time just stops. Without this feature on the sleigh, mind you, I would have to move much faster than I'm able to. So this is a very, very big blessing. Here's another one, and it feels promising as well. Let's see who this is from. This is from Matthew from Houston, Texas, USA. Let's see what Matthew has to say. Dear Santa, why, that's me. I've been good this year, and I want a blue remote-controlled monster truck. Also, where do Christmas trees come from? And is there a reason we have them? Matthew, thank you for your letter. I hope you and your family are well. There are few places Christmas trees come from. Usually a tree farm or out in the wild. They're brought into town all covered in netting to keep the branches and needles from going all over the place. Of course, there are artificial trees you can set up, take down and use year after year. And those ones, I believe, come from factories around the world. Now, the history behind the tradition of Christmas trees is very interesting as well. A long time ago, there was a queen who married a German prince. Can you believe that? In Germany, evergreen trees were brought inside during the holiday season we've now come to call Christmas. These trees were dressed up with candles, fruit, strings of popcorn, and other such decorations. The name of these trees, whether they were decorated or not, was Tannenbaum. There is a Christmas song titled "O Tannenbaum," which is about decorating one of these trees up. You might know it as "O Christmas Tree." Now we return to the Queen and German Prince. Once married, their traditions and cultures merged, which is how things usually work when two people from different countries get married and start a family. As such, the prince brought an evergreen tree inside his new home. Well, it was a palace. Well, it was during Christmas. He brought it in, and he decorated it with his new bride. When news got out about this wonderful tradition, the Queen's subjects adapted it as a tradition of their own. It soon spread to other lands and has become a part of many families' Christmas tradition. All because a queen fell in love and married a prince. This one's by Truly from Rexburg, Idaho, USA. Let's see what she has to say. Dear Santa Claus, why, that's me. Thank you all for your hard work. I'm glad you're not all alone at the North Pole. Your elves and Mrs. Claus must be real hard workers too. If you can, please bring my dolls some more clothes. I'll leave cookies and milk and carrots for you and the reindeer. I have a question for you. How did you meet Mrs. Claus? Sincerely, Truly. Truly, I'll get the elves making those doll clothes straight away, and we'll do our best to get them to you by Christmas. I met Mrs. Claus before she was Mrs. Claus. Turns out she was one of the daughters of the Ice King, who I knew very well. Because her father was a king, that meant she was a princess. She was an ice princess when I married her, and now she's my queen. We both love Christmas oh so much, and she does her best to keep me out of trouble. Which reminds me of a story. I'll meet you back in the workshop, and I'll tell you all about the trouble we had this last year up here at the North Pole. Well, last year, we realized that a lot of the elves hadn't been brushing their teeth, and were therefore needing to be put on the naughty list. Horrible mess it was. We tried everything that we could to get them to brush their teeth before we realized that perhaps we could surprise them with new tubes of toothpaste. Maybe this gift would make them more wanting to brush their teeth. Now, elves are notorious for not wanting to eat anything but candy and sweets all the day long. This wouldn't be a problem if they also brushed their teeth. The alternative would be to make elf dentures, but doing so takes up valuable time, and we would rather spend that time on making toys. So the Mrs. Claus and myself decided to surprise the elves. Unfortunately, we weren't here when the packages arrived.
What do you think this could be? I haven't the foggiest. You better clean that up before Santa Claus gets back, or else you'll be in real trouble. Oh, come on. They wouldn't have shipped it here if they didn't want us to open it. It looks a bit sticky. It also smells like peppermint. I don't think we should touch it. Do you think that this is candy cane batter? What do you mean? Well, cookies are made from cookie dough batter, and once put into the oven it solidifies and becomes wonderful round cookies we can dip in milk. Perhaps we're supposed to squeeze this out in the shape of a candy cane, put it on a cookie sheet, and bake them in the oven to get candy canes. You know nothing about candy cane production, do you? But you know, I really like eating cookie dough before it becomes cookies.
No, that could make you sick.
It does on occasion, but perhaps we could eat this candy cane batter and see if it's any good.
And so the elves ate not just 1 or 2 tubes of toothpaste, but all the toothpaste that had arrived. And that is why toy production last year was at a standstill for 3 whole months, while the majority of elves were on bed rest, sick, with tummy aches brought on by eating peppermint toothpaste. Now that wasn't a very good choice to make for them, was it? But the elves have since learned and repented of their evil ways. They now brush their teeth and floss occasionally. Last year we also caught up on our toy making quota, and we were on track by the time Thanksgiving rolled around. Hello, what can I help with? Oh, he is. Oh, yes, I'll be right out. Let me throw on a coat. It seems someone that we're all familiar with needs our help. Let me throw on my coat and I'll meet you out at the reindeer pen.
Where is it? Where is it? Where is it?
Hey there, Pistachio. You sounded quite urgent on the phone. What's going on, my friend?
Oh, Santa, thank you for coming. As you know, I've been working these last few weeks on a few ideas that I think would really help. And I've got it this time. I have the invention that will revolutionize Christmas as we know it.
You've said that before about other ideas. Remember how you thought we needed to install plumbing in the sleigh?
Which is still a very valid point. If you're up there for a long time...
What do you have to show me this time?
Well, let's get right to it, shall we? I've molded this helmet which will deflect the winds, snow, and freezing temperatures away from your head, so you can think clearly and stay warm while driving the sleigh.
A kind idea to be sure, Pistachio, but I already have a fur-trimmed cap that does all of the things you've mentioned. And it also happens to match my coat. This helmet of yours makes you look more like a golden Easter egg reindeer than a Christmas reindeer.
And what's wrong with that?
It could be misleading. Usually Easter eggs have chocolate in them, while you're not chocolate at all, but a real live reindeer. If I were to wear that helmet, those who saw me might mistake me for a chocolate Easter egg all wrapped in gold foil. They may try to put me in a basket, or worse, try to take a bite. And I wouldn't want people to be disappointed when they find out I'm not in fact made of chocolate.
Fair point. Ooh, but I have something else. Look, this top-of-the-line communication device will enable you to stay in direct contact with the North Pole while you're out flying the sleigh. If you need anything, you can simply call.
Pistachio, could you explain to me how these work?
Well, you put one cup to your ear, and the other will be manned by the navigation specialist here at the North Pole. You just have to be really quiet in order to hear anything and keep the string tight.
One thing that concerns me is this. That if we were to use these cups and string, we need an awful lot of string to follow behind the sleigh as I fly all over the world. That's many millions of miles of string we need. Think of all the yo-yos that would go stringless this year. Besides, Pistachio, did you forget that we have phones and radios now? Oh!
All right, I have one last idea. Santa, the sleigh currently has no camouflage protection to help keep your journeyings and presents unknown to curious window watchers. My idea is to utilize the Magic Dust Reserve to not only provide flying capabilities to the sleigh and reindeer team, but also to generate a cover of heavy and dense fog that will ensure that your Christmas route is undetectable to the casual observer. All this would require is to add an extremely dense fog generator wired to a constant power source. The piping would follow along the same route as the magic dust, so no new holes or other heavy construction would be needed to include this addition to the sleigh.
Pistachio, that is quite an idea! I think it's actually worth looking into.
Really?
Yes! I'll have the elves begin working on it straight away. And I'd like you to oversee the project. We'll need some prototypes, of course, done by, let's say, next Christmas. Do you think that is doable?
I'm your reindeer.
Oh, yes, you are. And you're one of the kindest and most inventive friends I have. I do so enjoy our visits together.
Oh, gee, Santa, you say the nicest things.
And they're all true. Is there anything you need from me to help you with this project?
Just a lot of hot cocoa for the elves and myself while we get to work on this.
Consider it done, my friend. I'll call the kitchen myself and make sure they keep a vat warm and ready day and night, specially for you all.
Oh, thank you, Santa. I just love cocoa and inventing. This is the best Christmas present ever.
I'm so glad I could help. Run along now and have some fun. There's one last thing I'd like to share with you all. There are many things we can do to keep the wonderful spirit of Christmas in our lives and in our hearts all the year round. As you help and serve others this season, or during any season, you will feel that same spirit. I would like to leave you with a passage from a book that is very much responsible for transforming Christmas into the holiday we know it as today. This book is A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. The main character of the story, Ebenezer Scrooge, doesn't like Christmas because he hasn't felt the Christmas spirit for many, many years. At the beginning of the story, his nephew Fred begs him not to be miserable and alone, but to come join him for Christmas dinner. Scrooge refuses and proclaims that Christmas is not only a frivolous time, but has never done any good or made a difference in anyone's life. Scrooge's nephew Fred then says this: "There are many things from which one might derive good, but not profit, Uncle. I have always thought of Christmas time as a good time, a kind, forgiving, charitable time, the only time of the year when men and women set aside their differences and consider those things which make us all one. And though it has never put a scrap of gold or silver in my pocket, I believe that Christmas has done me good and will do me good, and I say God bless it." At the end of the story, Scrooge chooses to change, vows to keep Christmas the whole year round, and serves others. Here we are at the end of this very, very long year. You've faced all sorts of challenges, but you've made it this far. Well done. I must be going. But continue the festivities, drinking hot chocolate and eating cheese, sledding, decorating the tree, and putting up lights. But don't forget to spend time with your loved ones. I wish you the best of luck and send you all my love. I'll see you Christmas Eve, if not before. Merry Christmas, my friends.